fender back in the dark temporarily. I just wanted to see how things lined up. I used my hammer and dolly set down there, and I got it close by rights. This rocker panel here, this rocker panel, I think I'm going to end up ordering the replacement panel, and I'm probably going to cut it out and re-weld in a new piece, because this I can't get it straight. It actually needs to go out. I've got some tools coming that are going to kind of help me fix this, but I wanted to get the fender on the car for now, just to see where everything lined up. So I kind of banged it back into place. I have a puller coming, or like a pullback ram, and some clamps. We're gonna pull this straight, and then I'm probably gonna order the replacement panel to go down here. We're gonna cut it out and splice it in, because this is not really, I don't know that I'll ever get this perfectly straight. I got it enough to get the fender on the car, just to see how, like, I wanted to see how everything else lined up on the nose of the car. I still need to get a new crash bar and radiator support. This is the old support that's out here we pulled in a previous video. It's pretty bent. I don't know, I mean, I probably could straighten it, but I don't know if the whole thing is kind of sprung. Hall's Garage, where I get the fender and stuff from, he's got another one for 200 bucks, so I'm gonna probably call him on Monday and see if we can get that pulled. I'm not gonna buy a used crash bar. I'm gonna buy a brand new one, because then I'll know it's straight, and then we can kind of see how far off these frame rails here are. I don't believe they're that far off. I did buy a tram gauge. We're gonna do a video on that here shortly. Okay, so today what we're gonna do, we've got the fender on the car already, just to kind of mock up where things go. I just wanted to see how far out of alignment the rest of the nose was. Other than that rocker panel on the bottom, it's really not that bad. I tapped it back into place with a hammer and dolly set. I don't like how it came out. It really needs to kind of be pulled out, tapped, and then we're gonna have to end up replacing that section of the rocker panel, just because it's too bent, and you'll never get it straight enough again to make it look nice. And I want the car to come out pretty nice when it's done. So I'm gonna end up ordering the replacement rocker panel. We'll cut and fit and tack that into place. We'll bring the MIG welder out, and I've got some tools coming here that should hopefully be a little more helpful with that part of the build. I did buy a tram gauge, so at some point here shortly, I don't know if it'll be today, we're going to do a video on how to use that to measure some spots on the car, just to see how far out of alignment it is. From what I could see, what I've been tinkering with it, doesn't look too bad, so hopefully nothing's really bent other than the radiator support and the crash bar. I'm going to call up Paul's Garage probably this week and try and grab the radiator support they have down there. I really want a OEM support. The OEM support for this car is about $700 to $900 depending on where you look. So that's probably a part that I might get used. I haven't decided yet. Or I might go aftermarket, because I can get a brand new Kappa certified aftermarket unit for about 250 bucks. So haven't thought about that yet. Not quite there. I do want to get the crash bar so that I can kind of measure things and see how far off we are. That's going to be brand new, and I'm probably going to get that OEM Mopar, just because the price difference isn't much. So hopefully things will start to be coming back together here shortly. Today we're also going to do the oil pan. We're going to do the inner tie rod end and the end link on the passenger side. I've been having a hard time finding the boot for the inner tie rod ends. Went to Napa yesterday and found one that I think is kind of close, so if that fits, we're going to put that on. If it doesn't, then the only way for me to get the boot for this car is to go right to one of the Mopar sites. I've been using mymoparparts.com and or eastcoastmoparparts.com. There's a couple of them that I've been shopping, and y'all have to buy the whole inner tie rod as a package, even though I have a brand new Moog one, which kind of stinks. So maybe Rock Auto will take that back. So that's kind of what we're going to work on today. Some big projects. We're going to make some big headway here. I apologize for the lack of videos due to Thanksgiving, and I had to wait for some parts to come in. I got a brand new Mopar oil pan, brand new end link, and everything for the other side. So we're going to put that in today. So hopefully the car will be able to kind of go down on its all fours when we're done here today. In order to get the pan off, we have to take this lower bolt out of the AC compressor, because there's a bracket that runs up underneath, which I'll show you here in a second. And so we got the Milwaukee Impact. It is a size 13 millimeter bolt. I'm gonna put that on there, pull that loose. Just put that aside for the moment. This is the oil drain plug, and you can see, oh, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's heavily rounded. So we're gonna have to take, it's a 13 millimeter bolt roughly, and that's what I have for a socket that'll almost fit. So we're just gonna, tap that on. All right, that just took a little bit of brute force to get that socket on there. Now we can work on breaking it loose. Holy cow! I don't know who the heck put this on there, but it is tight. I don't know if that's because it got whacked or what the deal was. Pull this out of here. Probably gonna be wicked dirty. Oh yeah, look at that, that's pretty dirty. So these bolts here that hold the bracket on, there's 3 of them. They came out with a 13 millimeter or half-inch bolt. There are 2 half-inch bolts on either side of it there. We're gonna pull those out, and the rest of them appear. After much fighting and reading about how to get this oil pan off, because I got all the bolts out of it, it's just stuck on there really good. It's almost off, it's just hanging on. What I spent some time reading was a good old rubber mallet. So what I did was I whacked it right about here a couple of times, and it finally has popped loose. Here we have the old pan. You can see it's kind of pushed in this area here. This is where I kind of popped it off with my gasket scraper. It's pretty thin metal. Nothing that, now I see it, is probably nothing that would have really hurt the operation of the motor. This pickup is down here. You can see this is the new pan, and it's not pushed up right there. So basically what we'll do is we're gonna go into here, I have some isopropyl alcohol and an old Amazon gift card. You can use a credit card and a rag, and we're just gonna go around and scrape off all the old sealant. We're gonna put new sealant on this one. We're gonna put it back into place. We're gonna torque it down, and then we're gonna fill it. We're gonna change the come over here, change the filter. We're gonna put a brand new filter on it. We're gonna fill her up with oil, and she'll be ready to start up when we go to put it back together. Once we're done getting the pan on today, we're gonna work on getting the right front inner tie rod and boot changed, and then I think suspension wise and mechanically she's pretty good to go. It's going to be getting these rails dialed in and make sure they're straight. I need to get the crash bar, as I talked about earlier. We're going to get that, another radiator support. Unfortunately, I have to get another radiator because it has a broken mounting point on it. So while we're in there, we're going to change that as well. And I might change the AC compressor because the clutch unit kind of got damaged in the wreck. So we may do that in another video. I don't have that in hand right now. So and we'll need a battery as well because the battery is completely dead. Won't take a charge. So we're getting there. There's a lot of work left to do, but it is mechanically coming back together. The product I'll be using, it's Permatex Ultra Black Gasket Maker. It's maximum oil resistance. There is actually a Mopar gasket sealer for this. Unfortunately, I could not find it. Nobody seemed to have it, so this will work just as well. It's designed for oil pans and oil. So we're going to open this up and we're going to get to work here. Just going to open up our RTV, just like that. Take our tip and our knife. Just kind of do that. Screw our tip on here. And we're just gonna basically make a line around each hole. Now we've got the RTV sealant on the pan. We're gonna put this pan up in place and you got all the little M6 bolts back in. These guys need to be torqued to roughly 100 inch-pounds. These bigger bolts, I believe they're M8s, need to be torqued to 195 inch-pounds. So now we get that set at 195 inch-pounds. What our new the right socket on. There we go. What to do is put this AC bracket on, which goes on right like so. So we'll put the AC bolt through this just to kind of hold it in place. Hopefully you can see a little better what I'm doing. We've got these guys here. I have to go up through the bracket and into the through the oil pan and into the block. There are 3 of them. Now she's in place. We're going to torque those down to 195 as well. Again, that's 195 inch-pounds. If you torque that to 195 foot-pounds, you will break it. And then you will be drilling a bolt out. Put our flex pipe gasket back on. I don't think it really matters direction-wise. There we go. There we go. Now you can see the flex pipe is bolted back up to the catalytic converter slash exhaust manifold. You can see the new pan is in place and torqued down. We also have to change this filter out. I have a brand new one. We're going to do that. And once the glue dries, we'll put fresh oil in her and she'll be good to go. Guys, if you like the videos on this Dart and a couple of the other cars that I have on the channel, please remember to like and subscribe below. Turn on your post notifications so you can see you know, when I upload a new video. I'm trying to do at least 1 video a week, but with kids and family stuff, it's kind of in a full-time job. It is hard to get a video out on a regular basis, but I'm trying to at least get 1 video out a week for you guys so you can keep up with the build. And you can also follow me along on Instagram, ACHubbard117. I'll put the link in the description. And feel free to check out the other videos on my channel. Some of the older ones are not as great of quality, you know, so I'm trying to change that and turn that around. And so again, feel free to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and look for more videos to come, guys.